Hello everyone, my name is Elaine Walker and I am the Graduate Studies Librarian here at FANT. In this recording I'm going to go over what the library has to offer you and how you can use our resources and services to your advantage. First, I'm going to cover some of the most significant changes the library has had to make in response to the pandemic and how those changes will affect how you use the library this semester. Then I'm going to highlight some of our key resources for nursing students that will include databases, journals, LibGuides, and ebooks. And finally, I will briefly go over some tips and tricks for keeping track of all those articles and pieces of information you gather along your research journey. So starting with library updates, I've got about 3 pages of these, so bear with me. So we are back open officially this Sunday on August 2nd. Swipe access only, so if you are an MEW student or an MSMS student or faculty with a Galaxy ID, you will need to register it in our system, and when we jump over to the library's website in just a few minutes, I'll show you guys where to go to get that done. Our hours starting Sunday will be a little bit different from previous semesters. So Monday through Thursday, we open at 7:30 and we're open until 8. Friday is virtual hours only, 7:30 to 5. So if you guys need anything, you can still contact us through our Ask Athena chat service, through email or phone. You guys can text us, tweet us, let us know if you still need something on a Friday and we will make sure we get it to you. Sundays we're only open from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. And one more thing I wanted to add to this slide is that the 24-hour computer lab is only open Sunday through Thursday of this semester. There will be signage all over the floors and the walls and in the stairwells so that it's clear where you guys can go. We are only allowing one person at a time in the elevator, so we do encourage you guys to take the stairs as much as possible if you are able to. All of our visitors are required to wear a mask, and seating will be at least 6 feet apart. So we have rearranged most of the furniture in the library to accommodate this requirement for you guys so that you can still use the library safely and comfortably. Our study rooms will be limited to 1 person only. We have a couple of larger study rooms that will allow 2 people to use as long as they practice social distancing. And one of our latest updates is that we have now made the pods reservable. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's our kind of comfy loungy chairs that have a built-in desk as well as a plastic kind of privacy partition that wraps around most of it. It also has a built-in charger, or an outlet rather, so that you guys can keep your devices charged. So we are pretty excited that we are now renting those out. So that's also an option if the study rooms are full. Curbside pickup will also begin this Sunday, August 2nd. This is just for picking up library books or holds that you've placed, picking up an interlibrary loan book from another library. All you'll have to do is just text us when you arrive and we will bring it out to you, and I will go over some more of those details later in the video. If you are in the library, printing and checking out books is also a self-service as well, so you guys, we're trying to keep this contact limited. We're no longer accepting cash for prints, so MEW students, you will continue to use your paper cut accounts, and MSMS students, I believe your university account will be charged for prints from here on out. The second floor, which is where most of the books are located, is going to be very limited access, mostly for archives appointments and study room and pod reservations only. But if you need a book, we can still go grab it for you and bring it right down, so don't feel that you aren't able to access the materials up here. And that's about it for those library updates, and we are going to jump over to the library's website. Here is the library's website. The URL is mew.edu/library. I just wanted to go over some of the most important elements on our homepage so that you guys become familiar with it, and in the future you will have an idea of where to go based on the kind of information you're looking for. The first thing I wanted to point out here is the Get Library Access tab right here. This is what I mentioned earlier about getting swipe access into the library. Filling out this form will grant you access into the main doors as well as the 24/7 lab, or 24/5 lab rather. So as soon as you guys get this filled out, give us about 24 hours to enter your information into the Galaxy Loop software, and then we will send you an email confirmation when it's been approved. The second thing I wanted to point out was our Ask Athena chat service right here. You will see this pop up in the margins of most of the pages within this website. So if you guys come across anything that you're not sure about, or if you can't find something, you can just type in your name or email address. You can also keep this anonymous and send us your question. As long as the library is open, there is a librarian here to answer your questions in real time. If you send us a chat outside of our regular library hours, we will respond to it by email as soon as possible on the next day. Another thing I wanted to point out is our interlibrary loan service here. And I'll go over this a little bit more as we jump into the databases in just a few minutes. But this is where you will go to fill out the information of an article or a book that you're looking for that we might not have. You can either copy and paste the information here, or you can do it in the database, and I'll show you how that works in just a few minutes. You can also schedule a research appointment with the librarian. So if you have a big research paper coming up, you guys can meet with one of us one-on-one through Zoom, and we can go over whatever you need. If it's citation help or finding articles for your paper, you can select whichever librarian you want to work with. Pick a time that works best for you, and then we will get an email and we'll reach out to you. And I'm going to jump back to the home page here. I want to talk about the Discovery search bar for just a few minutes. This works similarly to the Google search bar, so you can come here, just type in your keywords to get your search started. You can also go into advanced search. I prefer to use advanced search because I usually have a couple of keywords I like to do in my initial search. So this is what the advanced search will look like. And here's just a sample of the results list. So initially it will pop up with results that we have in the library only. So here we have books, quick lessons, academic articles, evidence-based care sheets, and you can filter out all of these results by source types here over on the left. You can also limit to just what we have if you don't want to use the interlibrary loan service. The scholarly peer-reviewed journal limiter is used pretty frequently because I'm sure most of your professors require this. You can limit to full text, which makes it a little easier if you're also not trying to use interlibrary loan. There are other limiters down here that aren't as popular, but they are available if you do need them. And I'm going to go back. And now I'm going to jump into the databases. There are a couple of different ways to get to just the nursing databases. You can look through all of them here, or you can go to all subjects and select nursing, and it's going to pull all of the most relevant databases for your research. In this recording, I'm just going to go over the best bets to save time, and we're just going to jump into CINAHL. So this looks similar to the EBSCO discovery search that we just left. CINAHL is a great place to go to for evidence-based research. It also includes peer-reviewed articles, nursing dissertations, audiovisuals, book chapters, and evidence-based care sheets. So you can start searching this database by entering some search terms here, or you can go and search by publications if you know exactly, if you have something more specific that you have in mind. So let's try, I'm going to click on Advanced Practice in Acute and Critical Care. And as you can see, there are issues available as recently as this summer, it looks like. So you guys can click on this. And these are all of the art issues from that volume. So here you have full text access to these articles, so that's good. You don't have to use Interlibrary Loan just yet. When you click on the title, it will take you to the bibliographic record or the catalog record with all of the descriptive information, and then you can go here to check out the text. One thing I want to point out while we're here in this record, if you come across an article that you just really love and you want to find more like it, I suggest clicking on this Find Similar Results button. It will scan the article and pull up anything that is relevant to it in a new set of results. So this can be a little overwhelming. As you can see, we have almost 1.5 million results, but I have found this to be useful doing my own research in the past and for school. You can also do searches based on subject headings. I highly recommend that you guys view the tutorial that's provided here by Sinal. I think it's very helpful. Normally I would show this in person for an instruction session, but I'll just leave that up to you guys. So let's just do eye infections as a sample search. And here it will kind of give you a hierarchy of all the different kinds of eye infections. So let's just click on bacterial eye infections. And then you can kind of expand your search even more based on these subject terms that are provided here. So let's go with symptoms and therapy. If eye infections are sort of the major concept of your search, you can select that box here, but otherwise you can just search database and it will pull results based on what you've entered here. So this works out, so I can show you guys how to place an interlibrary loan request directly through the database. So we don't have full text access to this article, but if you click on the title, you read the abstract, and you think, oh yeah, this is what I need. You can go click on this button right here, and it will automatically populate these fields for you. And then all you'll have to do is enter your personal information and then click submit. For these electronic articles, they will be delivered directly to your email address, usually within 24 to 48 hours, and you will have a link that will take you directly to the full text access. Another feature of Sinal that I really like are the evidence-based care sheets. I'm just going to click on one so you guys will have an idea of what it looks like. Evidence-based care sheets are summaries on specific key topics which are focused on nursing practice. So each evidence-based care sheet incorporates the latest evidence, statistics, research, and references on a given topic. And this is what that looks like. So just a brief overview of a condition or a disease or a treatment. So I think these are pretty useful. And the last feature I'm going to point out to you guys are the quick lessons. These are pretty much the same thing as evidence-based care sheets, except they're a little more brief. So let's check out altitude sickness. And as you can see, it looks pretty similar to the evidence-based care sheets. Just gives you some general information about the condition and treatments. It also provides references, which you can copy and paste into the search bar if you want to look for those specific articles related to this topic. And with that, we are going to jump into the next database. Cochrane Library is a little bit different. It includes systematic reviews and reports from clinical trials, and this information is used to make point-of-care decisions. So I really like the highlighted reviews that they have featured here. And then if I'm using Cochrane Library, I tend to start browsing by topics, which I think is pretty easy, but you can also use the search up here. So let's try pediatric obesity. And here we have some reviews, and I love the limiters over here on the side. I think it just makes it really easy to kind of narrow down your results and find what you're looking for. There's also clinical trials that are provided by Cochrane Library, so these are also pretty good to look at. When you click on the record, it's usually only going to show you an abstract and the descriptive information, so it's helpful to click on the clinicaltrials.gov link right here, so you can go directly to the trial information to look at updates and see what's changed and what they've learned from doing these trials. So I just wanted to point out that extra step so you guys can actually find the records for these. Okay, the next database we're going to look at is Medline with full text. Before I jump into this one, I wanted to point out that Medline, Pubmed, and Pubmed Central are very similar and cross-linked to each other. So there might be an article in Pubmed that isn't available as full text, but it might be in Medline, and they will link out to each other so that you guys can find those. So jumping into Medline, it looks pretty similar to the EBSCO Discovery Search and CINAHL, so hopefully you guys are pretty familiar with this by now. The subject headings that we went over in CINAHL, there's also something called MESH subject headings, which are medical subject headings, which is pretty much the same thing. They're just terms that are related to the field of allied health and nursing. So this looks pretty similar. You can also search by publications and images. This is the feature that makes this Medline different from CINAHL Complete. And then indexes, which is just another word for searching by subject. Okay, I'm going to jump into Pubmed. It works similarly to the Discovery search bar and a Google search bar. You just type in your search terms here, or you can go to advanced search, which I think makes things a little bit easier. You can also search by medical subject headings here, by journals, or previous publications, or limited publications rather. Personally, I prefer to use Pubmed Central. I think it's a little more user-friendly. I like to use these limiters over here to help me with my search. And let's see, we're going to stick to our pediatric obesity search term for today. I'm going to limit the results to the last 5 years. And I'm just going to click on this first result so you guys will be familiar with what it looks like. Here's the abstract, the keywords. This can help you kind of guide your future searches after you've come across this article. And here's the full text. Okay, the last thing I want to cover in this recording are LibGuides and citation managers. So for you guys, we have the BSN Nursing Guide here, which is basically just additional information on how to do research. We've also linked all of those nursing databases here for you guys. We can help you find books and other resources that you need pertaining to your research. We've defined evidence-based practice and gray literature here for you guys in case you've never had to use that before. We also have a little bit of information about doing your APA citations, but there is another LibGuide dedicated to that, and I'll go to that in just a second here. If you come into any questions along the way, don't forget that you can use this Ask Athena service, and we will be here to answer your questions. So I'm going to go to LibGuides right up here and show you guys the APA citations and formatting guide. It's got videos and examples and pretty graphics to look at to help you guys master those formatting. I've also provided examples for all of the citation situations that you could possibly find yourself in, so hopefully you guys find this helpful. I've also got a page on how to put together a reference list. My favorite thing about this page is this quick reference guide that helps you get that formatting just right for your grade. And once you have mastered those citations, one of the ways that you can keep track of those citations is downloading an app called Zotero. It is a free citation managing app that comes with a plugin that you can put into your web browser. Basically what it does is it saves the articles for you, and it also provides a citation, an automatically generated citation to kind of save some work on the back end for you guys. You can organize your articles into groups or folders, which you guys can see I've done here. So I think Zotero is a pretty great tool to use. I will also provide the link to the Zotero tutorial that Hillary, one of the other librarians, has done. So if you guys are interested in that, I will provide that link. With that being said, I wanted to provide my contact information here on this slide. If you guys need any help with research or finding articles, if you need an extra set of eyes to proofread a paper or go over your citations, feel free to shoot me an email, and I am more than happy to help.